Hi, I'm Alex Heffes and I create music.
I have cherished the ideal of a free, democratic society where all persons live together in harmony with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and achieve. But, if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die.
In this case, I'd done a film with Justin set in East Africa called The First Grader a few years ago. So we'd already worked on a film that, to a certain extent, had a hybrid African score, although it's quite different to the Mandela film. But we'd already talked about how to approach that, so it was very useful when we came to Long Walk to Freedom. It felt really important to go to South Africa for this film for a number of reasons. Primarily, really, it's set in South Africa, obviously, and I talked with Justin very early on about how we needed to make this film feel very authentically South African, as well as somehow have the language of movie music so the film could speak to an international audience wherever it is. I'd already written a lot of music when I went to South Africa, but I'd also left some space, if you like. I'd left it open to be inspired by what we found. We had wonderful collaborators there. The South African singing legend, really, Heffes Semenya. He is a real legend. He helped us find amazing talent, and Heffes sang himself on the film, and I told him what we were looking for, and he said, "Okay, great, we'll bring in, I know some guys who play guitar, and I know a couple of guys who are amazing percussionists up from the northwest of the country, or I know, bass player," and so I'd left a little room to add those elements, and so we experimented a little, and then it really started coming to life. It was a great experience. At the heart of the film is Nelson Mandela's family and his relationship to his family, and what happened, what you have to sacrifice for your family in order to go through what he went through. And so we felt that the score could really underscore that emotional strand of the film, and we could let the protest songs, the street music, score the more political side of certainly of the apartheid years. The music actually has a transition. It starts off much more pared down with tribal instruments. It starts off with African flutes and percussion for the early years. It progresses as you go through. We used quite a lot of source material in the beginning. There was a lot of swing band, actually American influenced swing band music in South Africa in the 40s and 50s. And then the music becomes more orchestral. And then we start adding in synth elements as well as you start getting to the 70s and 80s. And guitars, electric guitars, just to give a feeling of the progression of time. And so it was important not to use all of those elements the whole way through the score, but to give it some shape. For a film of this complexity, what I did was I took a huge piece of paper like this, and I actually drew a chart, not a musical chart, but in words, I drew out the whole film, a bit like a long storyboard. At the end of it, I ended up with this huge, crazy looking thing, which probably doesn't make any sense to anyone except for me, which I hung up on my wall. And every day when I was writing, I could look at it and keep the context of what I was writing in terms of the whole overall structure of the film. And I came to the conclusion, having questioned myself, whether I was the right person, being a white guy from London, I came to the conclusion that this film is about equality. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what colour your skin is. It's a universal story. It's just about everyone being treated the same as equal. There's something just so special, I feel so strongly about it, about the subject material and the way it's executed. I just find it incredibly moving every time I see it, which is, it's a pretty amazing feeling.